Well, hello guys. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my glorious little Mary Kay Beauty channel where we talk about everything Mary Kay, the business, the products, recruiting, you name it. You name it. Holding skincare classes, just everything about the business, the opportunity, and the company. We are cool over here, okay? And we love everything Mary Kay. So, my name is Nona, your fabulous hostess and independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay, guys. I've been in this fabulous company for 30 plus years. Even though I don't like to admit the age part, but 30 plus years. And I first tried the products at 19 and joined the company at 23. So, today, what I want to talk about is, there are so many topics that we're going to discuss on this channel because I realize a lot of independent beauty consultants, maybe looking for more than just going on In Touch or, listening to, whatever other material, however you, view it or listen to it. Or maybe you don't have that much contact with your director. In the old times, we used to do a lot of in-person meetings, and for years and years and years I would attend my Monday Night Live meeting. It was not a virtual meeting. We used to meet at different places, restaurants, hotel meeting rooms, just beauty salons. There was one time we had a meeting. One of the consultants, her sister owned a beauty salon, and she allowed us to have our meetings in the backspace of the beauty salon. That was for a little short time because the meeting got so large that we couldn't hold it there anymore. So then we went on and moved to another space. But what I want to talk to you guys about briefly today is using the DISC chart when you are, dealing with people. And you can use this. I use this in my daily business, like of anything, my regular 9-to-5 job, as well as my business with Mary Kay. I've been using the DISC chart for 30 years, okay? Or 29 years. Because of course, when I first got into the business, I was just, trying to figure everything out. And for whatever reason, I never, focused in on the DISC chart. So DISC, the chart, can easily be found. You guys can find it. You can Google it. It's up there. Just type in Mary Kay DISC chart and tons of them will come up. But in a nutshell, the D stands for determined. Okay. Driven. But some people might misconstrue it as being super bossy. But it's not that, but it is determined and it is direct and straight to the point. That's a D personality. Your I personality is your high I party personality. They want to have a lot of fun. They're the easiest to recruit because you sell them on the fun. Okay, you sell them on that. Then you have your S personality, which is slow and steady. Okay, the S personalities, they are slow and steady. Sorry about that, guys. It seems like my neighbors are beating each other up. Okay, so as I was saying, if you hear any noise in the background, I really can't control it because for whatever reason, the devil comes out on some people on Sundays and they're beating each other's brains out. But excuse me. Anyway, the S personality is slow and steady. We need S personalities because they're going to basically make you really know what you're talking about. You have to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed with the S personality. They are slow and steady and they have to feel like you're paying attention to them. You're answering their questions and they really have to pray on it, think about it. And it really has to make sense once you do get them, they're very loyal and they will probably stay with you like for a very good long time, or at least stay with Mary Kay for a very good long time. Now you have your C personality, which I feel like most people are. It's a little bit of everything, but they are very cautious, okay? And they're going to investigate everything that you say. They move faster than the S personality, but they are very steady and cautious. And they're going to always ask for more information, and they will need time to make it make sense. Okay, so majority of people are in that C personality style. So that's why we always talk about layering information. Your first initial approach may not work, as far as like, you can't just outright just, think that you're going to tell them a few things and they're going to join on the spot. Most people need layering. Most people need at least up to a 7th contact, however you do your contacts, whether it's virtually, whether it's physically, by mail, whatever your touch is. Most people will need up to 7, and some people beyond, but that's up to your discretion, of layering. Now, usually if it's a person that I have been, layering for several months, several weeks, several years, I will then go to a once every 3-month check-in email or text message, and sometimes a postcard. So there's that. But it is very important to, work with that chart so that you can gauge how to disseminate information with your prospective customers, hostesses, and recruits. So like I've said in previous videos, the first thing is your target market, because your friends and family is only going to support you but for so long and for so for so many amount of for so many dollars. They're not going to be your consistent customer base. Some people get lucky and they do have quite a few family members that are their consistent customer base. I have not been one of those people, because my youngest sister, she is wishy-washy all over the place with skincare and beauty, and it's not even just because it's Mary Kay. I've worked in beauty industries where I've given her free products and she still complained about the free products. So guys, it is not the Mary Kay product. It's usually, the individual, unless a person really had a bad experience on their skin with Mary Kay products. That's just usually their style. So I wouldn't let that, mess your mind up. And also, family has a way, tends sometimes to be a little bit biased, and then there's jealousy and, a lot of different things. It just depends on the dynamic of the family. So I wouldn't just be thankful if they buy something from you, to just support you the first time, and just let it go at that. But again, I tend to, even with my sister, give her Mary Kay as gifts, and whether she uses them, I don't know. Sometimes she says she does, sometimes she doesn't. But it's okay, because she's that type of person that, she, basically, she likes to complain a lot. But anyway, that being said, I always make sure that I give my products out for gifts and just things of that nature. Guys, you didn't invest in this business and in yourself to go ahead and still put money into somebody else's dream. If people don't know you're in this business, you'll be surprised how many consultants I speak to, or past former consultants I talk to, and they'll tell me that they never really, everybody did not know that they sold Mary Kay. That should not be. I'm not saying that that every single person in your life has to know that you sell Mary Kay. Sometimes that's not, sometimes that's not possible, depending on the dynamic of what's going on in your life. But for the most part, I can speak for myself. Everybody knows that I'm a Mary Kay beauty consultant. Like, there is no one who knows me, whether they be a friend, family member, associate, coworker. They all know that I'm a Mary Kay beauty consultant, and I've been in the company 30 years. So they all know that. So there is never a time that they could, if they happen to buy products for somebody else, it has happened in the past. A customer of mine, she moved to South Carolina, and at that time, I'm not sure what was going on with the customer delivery service. I don't think we had it that time. I think it was in the mid 2000s. We didn't have the direct customer delivery system, and she met somebody, at a function, and they hit it off, and she started purchasing products from her because she could get them like right then and there. I never let it trip me out. It is what it is. And when I think about it, in our relationship, friendship, you know, during the time I was seeing her, she was buying a lot of products from me. So I feel like she needed more of that. She really needed that friendship thing. And so this person was able to offer her that. And, you know, by writing Mary Kay, she was supposed to tell her, well, if you have a consultant, you always ask if a person has a consultant that they're working with. Because, you know, I still keep the company, you know, I still do things the way that we were trained to do it, with integrity. If someone tells me that they do have a consultant, I send them back to that person unless the person is no longer a consultant anymore, or the person doesn't have products, or the person is not willing to, you know, set up, you know, their website where the customer can have the products directly shipped to their home. So, you know, there's that. But we should be definitely pre-profiling not only our guests and our hostesses, but not only our guests and our hostesses and our potential team members, but just in general, when you're warm chatting, and warm chatting doesn't have to be like physically like warm chatting, but you could do warm chatting, you know, virtually. Like you know, you like a video, you start, you know, having conversation back and forth. People build, you know, as we can see online, people build relationships and communities. Start right then and there. Learn to notice right away if this person is a D personality, an I personality, S personality, or C personality. It'll save you a whole lot of time. If the person is a D personality, right away you're going to know this person is going to make a decision. This person is going to make a decision. Like, they don't need to ask family. They don't need to get approval from, you know, their husband, their wife, or son, dog, cat, mother, brother, cousin, aunt, grandmother. They don't need to get approval. But they're very straightforward. They're very dominant. And you won't be able to just steer their mind. Like, you know, not that we're trying to steer people's minds, but you're not going to be able to just, you know, bowl them over with your personality. It's going to be their choice. So if you know that from the start, you know how to lead into it. So if the person is like a high I person, you sell the fun of the business. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun. You travel, you meet different people. You learn a lot. When we go to seminar, there's a lot of, you know, prizes and awards, and, you know, you sell that person on that part of Mary Kay as well as, you know, everything else. But you want to focus in on what that personality type is more geared to, you know, accepting, accepting. Now, some people will say, oh, that's what they do in Mary Kay. They just want to, you know, study people, you know, when they use that personality chart so they can know how they can rope you in. Guys, that's what life does. Do you think your job doesn't study you, or, you know, your organization, or these retail stores? Like, everybody's studying your shopping pattern. They're studying how you do things. Like, you're always being studied and always being watched. So don't think this is anything that we do. This is what is done. And honestly, it's a time saver, because I would rather know how to approach a person in this situation than just go out there and just think everybody wants to hear all about prizes and awards. Some people don't want to, you know, that's not their thing. You know, I've had a lot of recruits in the past. Their whole thing was their family and family time. So I always made sure to express the fact that as a beauty consultant, you're making your own schedule around your family, your commitments, your job, your church, your organizations, things of that nature. I would never sell them on, oh yeah, we like to travel. We like to go, you know, we're in Dallas for seminar, and then we're in Atlantic City for career conference, and then we go to retreat in November to Pennsylvania. Like, that sounds like I'm taking them away from their family 3 times a year. No. So you don't want to, you know, just paint a broad brush stroke for everyone. You know, we all know everybody's an individual. So, you know, you have to tailor your discussion in that manner. You just can't think that people are just going to join because I just make sure the video is on. Because the last time I was doing a video, I did a 29-minute video, and it was on photo the whole time. But anyway, we want to make sure that, you know, take some time. Put effort into it. You know, a lot of people that quit Mary Kay, from what I can see, not all, but from the people that I personally know, they really thought that it was just going to be easy street, and you know, they can just put the products out there and show the products. Sometimes sometimes they show the products, sometimes they, you know, they would use a catalog, but they really thought that that was all they had to do and cultivate, you know, a clientele. That's not enough. Okay, do you realize how many companies have to send out millions of emails 3 and 4 times a day in order to get your money? How many times have you seen an email from, say, I don't know, what's that sports store? Dick's Sporting Goods. I love Dick's Sporting Goods. They send me an email twice a day. All right. I ignore the emails until I think that I need something. Like all of a sudden, maybe 10 weeks. Oh, for instance, I needed a new swimsuit. And I said, you know what? I wonder what they have at Dick's Sporting. Now, I know they don't have anything that's like really, you know, really nice and, you know, fancy and sexy, but I wanted something a little bit more sporty just for this particular event that I was going to. I wanted something basic. And it's so funny that after them sending me emails for I don't know how many weeks, I finally decided to go on the website and look at some items to see if, what the deal was. Now, did I buy anything? No, because unfortunately the pricing wasn't what I was looking for. But I said that all to say, when I was ready to purchase that suit, I went there first. Now, if they would have had if it had been the price that I was looking to pay, I would have definitely, purchased that swimsuit. And I probably would have purchased it if they would have sent me like an offer, like spend $10, get $10, spend $50 and get $10 off or whatever like that. They did have a lot of things on sale, but it was nothing that I was interested in. So I said that all to say, sometimes you will need to, have more than even 7 contacts with a person in order for them to, want what you're offering. And then it's also how you tailor the message. When you're working with the DISC personality chart, remember, if the person that you're sending the email to is a high I person, don't, put a lot of, information that's a thing, like tedious information, numbers, and like a whole bunch of, like a lot of stuff that doesn't seem exciting to that particular person. Send that to the person that's an S or a C, okay, or even a D. But a high I person is going to be all about the fun. So get good at, determining who is in front of you, and then go from there. Don't just give everybody the same treatment until you get to that level. Now we'll talk about that. When you get to the level where you have a good amount of clients and you really can't, you've built it, at that point you can send a general, email, or, actually you should just have everybody on the customer preferred program, so they will, be receiving our brochure with their name on it. People love to see their name, and the ball has already been rolling, so they already, are expecting, or, they've already been purchasing from you. So, at that point when you have a large, amount of customers, just go out and, send have them, you have them registered to the customer preferred program. So they're going to be receiving, our beautiful, gorgeous brochure. But what I'm saying is, even before you, get to that point where they are on your customer preferred program, and make sure that when you do have your parties, your shows, your facials, your, whatever connection, you participate in the customer preferred program, because that's a great way of quiet selling. Because while you're home or at work or at church or wherever you are with your family, your children, your parents, your kids, everyone, somebody is on, they're reading this brochure, whether it be the one that, was mailed to them or online, and thinking about placing an order. So always follow up with the people that are on that, customer preferred program, to see how they're doing, to see, if there's any questions that they have about the products or anything like that. So guys, I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like the video, get me out there in the algorithm, comment, please subscribe. And as always, if you don't have a consultant, I would love to be your consultant. If you're thinking about the opportunity and you need information, you can always go to the Mary Kay website, or leave me a message and I will send you a link so that you go to my website and read all about the, all of the exciting stories about all the fabulous women in Mary Kay. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Bye, guys.